Hello, Frizzle friendlies. Today I'm sharing all of my tips of how to find books that you are going to love. There are so many awesome books out there, but it can be sometimes really difficult to find the ones that match your taste. So today I'm going to be showing you my tips and tricks of how to find the books that match your taste, that you specifically are going to love. So my very first piece of advice is keep a list. Now I know this isn't like an exciting new website to visit, don't worry, we're going to be getting there in a minute, but I'm going to be showing you strategies that will very quickly get you dozens of book recommendations, okay? And if you don't have some way to record them, to write them down, you are quickly going to forget them all and then you're not going to actually read them. That's the trap that I often fall into, is that I'll get a list of like 20 potential books to read and then I'll never end up reading any of them or really looking into any of them because it's too much of a large task, and no. And you don't have to record every single recommendation that comes your way, just the ones that seem most interesting to you. Here is how I keep track of mine. I use Goodreads, and on Goodreads I have two shelves that I use. The first is the default want to read list. I put books on this list after I've looked into them a little bit and really decided, yeah, this for sure is a book I want to read. But that's not all I do. I also made this other Goodreads shelf called On My Radar, and this is like my pre-want to read. I've heard of a book, I think it might be for me, but I need to look into it a little bit more. Or I've looked into it and I'm a little bit on the fence, I need some time to think about it. So these are books that I'm not quite committed to reading yet, but they are on my radar. I'm thinking about them. And this is where, when I'm getting a big list of recommendations all at once, I'll often put them all on this list and then go through later and sort them of the books that I actually want to read by looking more into them. So you can keep track of your want to read books however you want to. A note on your phone, a physical piece of paper you're writing on, but keep track of them in some way because that will make this whole process that I'm about to show you so much easier. Some other lists you might consider making to help you find new books is series that you're in the middle of and authors that you want to read more from. Step 2, know your own reading taste. Most of the tools I'm going to be showing you today, you need to start from a book you've loved before, an author you've loved before, a genre you've loved before, and then we're going to be finding more books similar to those. So have some books and authors and genres in mind that you've loved before, and we're going to be working off of those. You can make them into a list if you want. So first, let me show you some tools you can use to find books on Goodreads. First is the Readers Also Enjoyed section. If you are on the webpage, this is underneath the blurb of the book. If you're on the app, you'll probably have to scroll down past the reviews. Now, this only works well for some books. Let me explain. You find the number of ratings a book has under its average star rating at the top of the page. Now, so if a book has few ratings, for this tool about under 10,000, there is not going to be the best recommendations here on the Readers Also Enjoyed. Goodreads doesn't have quite enough data and the results can be somewhat sporadic. Once it gets above 10,000 ratings, this tool starts performing much more consistently with actually showing you books that are similar to the book you're looking at. And I would say this tool's peak functionality is around 40,000 ratings for the book. Now, when the ratings get bigger, I'd say about above 100,000, you run into a different problem, which is now this book is being read by a bunch of people who don't read a lot of books. They just read the bestsellers, the big names, the books that have over 100,000 ratings. So then it will just recommend to you other books, maybe in the same genre-ish, that have a bunch of ratings. But with rising number of ratings, the quality of this Reader Also Enjoyed decreases. This phenomena is especially bad for books that are recently published and really hyped on TikTok. They've got this little echo chamber there where if you're reading a new release hyped TikTok book with a bunch of ratings, you're going to get a lot of others that fit into that exact same category of new release hyped TikTok book, which maybe is what you're looking for. But this Readers Also Enjoyed section of Goodreads can be really useful if the book is around over 10,000 ratings and below 100,000 ratings. It depends by the book, but if you've got a middling popular book that you really love, here is a great place to go to find other similar books that you might also love. Okay, that was an obvious Goodreads tip. Now let's get into some of the more underground Goodreads tip that you might not find just from browsing around on the website. So first is the usefulness of the genre pages. One of the easiest ways to get to this is you find a book that you like. Here we've got our example, The Way of Kings. And then here we have all of these little tags at the bottom of the genres. These ones are given by the publisher. The fun part is you can click on these. So let's go over to the fantasy genre page. And this is like the homepage for the entire genre of fantasy. So let's get browsing. At the top, you'll have this new releases that are tagged fantasy. The buzzy books published in like the last month that are fantasy books. Scrolling down, you also have this fun bit that is the most read this week. Of the books that are tagged fantasy, these are the ones that are going on Goodreads, that are popular. And then at the bottom, you have this label that's just fantasy books. As far as I can tell, these are the books that have been tagged by user fantasy the most. So this is a mix of the most popular books, like we see all the Harry Potters here, and the books that are the most fantasy. They get tagged that a lot, which is cool, but the entire genre of fantasy might be a little too big, too broad. You want to get to your specific book taste. So let's find the subgenres. There's a few different ways to get to subgenre pages. One of those is at the top of the fantasy page on the right here. There is a list of some popular subgenres, and you can click on the links and find the pages there. But let me show you a different way to do it. If we go back to Way of Kings, we could click on epic fantasy right here. It's been tagged helpfully by the author. Nice subgenre, but there's more. So we're gonna click on the more page here. And then a few more tags pops up and the button show all. That is where we're going. Because this is no longer the page with the publisher's tags for the books. This is now the page of the reader's tags for the book. Oftentimes, readers will tag the book by its subgenres, and you can find all of those here. So let's click from here on epic fantasy. Or you could scroll through and find a lot more niche subgenres. You could even tag the book that subgenre yourself if you want to get there. It's a little roundabout. So now here we are on the epic fantasy genre page. We have the new releases, the most read this week, all of it, and here you go. Some popular books in your favorite subgenre that are buzzy right now that you might not have heard about yet on social media. Now, one of the other tips I want to give you for finding books you'll love is to pay attention to the Goodreads average rating, but not too much. Because your new favorite book might be a book with a pretty low average rating, but too low and it's probably just poorly written. For the genres that I typically read, sci-fi fantasy, I have a cutoff of an average rating of about 3.75. For other genres, that's not going to be as accurate. Like, for example, horror tends to have a lower average rating in general, so cutoff would have to be lower for those kind of genres. The reason that my cutoff is 3.75 is I looked at my numbers, my books. So here are all the books I've read and rated on Goodreads. On the left here, we've got all of my 1 stars, 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, and 5 stars. And then the y-axis here is what is the Goodreads average rating for this book. As you can see over here on my 5 stars, we've got a pretty good spread. There are books down at the bottom that I've given 5 stars, just like books up at the top. It's all spread out. The difference between a book having like a 3.9 or a 4.3, it's about the same whether or not I'm going to give it 5 stars or 2 stars. But here we've got this line cutoff at 3.75 going across, and as you can see, that is where my 5 stars stop. Of all the books I've read that are under 3.75, I've never given one of them 5 stars. So that is where I've decided to cut off picking up books. I do sometimes still pick up books with under a 3.75, as you can see. But it's a pretty rare occurrence, and there has to be something else about the book that really is motivating me to pick it up. So I would encourage you to pay attention to the average star ratings of the books you are reading and to find your own cutoff, because that's really helpful when you're searching around books and you see it has like an average of a 3.2, you can know like, okay, I'll just not pick that one up. But if you see one that has an average rating of 3.8 and you know that's above your cutoff, well, there you go. You got it. Another tip I'll give you, which does, yes, take some work, is actually reading some reviews for the book you're contemplating reading. Check out a positive review, check out a negative review, and if you know your own book taste, you can see if the things that they're talking about are things that are going to be pros or cons for you. For example, for me, something that I'm always looking for is people talking about great character arcs, because that's what I'm looking for in books. And if they're blabbing on and on and on about the awesome world building and they never mention a single character, then I might know it's not a book for me. Now let's talk about websites that will give you personalized book recommendations. If you are thinking of a website, I have tried it out. I spent hours in preparation for this video trying out like all of the websites I could find that give you personalized book recommendations. Okay. There are only two that I think are worth talking about and recommending that you use. So we're going to be talking about those today. Got it? The first one is 𝐂𝐇𝐀𝐏𝐄𝐑. 𝐂𝐇𝐀𝐏𝐄𝐑. Here's how this website works, and it's super cool. You put in the names of 3 of your favorite authors. For me, some of my favorite authors right now, and if you have similar taste to me, I highly recommend you checking out these authors. Rachel Aaron, Lois McMaster-Bujold, and Heather Fawcett. Those are some of the authors I've been working through the backlist in the last year. And then this website will recommend to you authors that are similar to and at the intersection of the 3 authors you've put in. And I love this website. I've had many success stories finding authors that I've loved from these recommendations. And you can go through, it'll give you an author suggestion, like here, C.J. Cooke. I've never heard of them, but I can say, I like it, I don't like it if I've read some of their books before, or I don't know. And then I write down this author so I can go look at their books later, and I can get another recommendation from this website. Just going through the few recommendations it gave me 3 authors that I like and 7 authors that I've never heard of. Here's 7 authors that I could go look into their work and find books that I'll hopefully love, which is super fun, and I love this website. Now, the website 𝐂𝐇𝐀 has a partner website named Literature Map. Literature Map is using all of the data from people putting in their favorite authors on 𝐂𝐇𝐀. And this one is super cool. So we put in the name of an author we want to explore. Like, for example, Brandon Sanderson. And then it pops up this web of author names where the closer the names are to each other, the closer their styles are. And this is also very useful and consistent. Highly recommend 𝐂�coups and Literature Map. Now, of all the other personalized book recommendations websites I tried out, there was only one other that impressed me, and that is Meet New Books. Now, Meet New Books has 2 parts to the website, one which I recommend and one which I don't recommend. The part which I recommend is you put in the name of a book and it gives you similar books. That works pretty well. I like it. The part which I don't recommend is where you import your entire library, which for me is hundreds of books, and rate them all, and then it gives you personalized book recommendations. That is not quality, and I don't recommend going through all the work. But the part where you just put in one book and it gives you similar books is really consistent and fun. It works very similarly to the Readers Also Enjoyed on Goodreads, but I found it to be more consistent for those cases where the Readers Also Enjoyed on Goodreads breaks down for the very few ratings or the lots of ratings books. Now, I want to give a quick shout out to a website which I feel like is not quite useful yet, but I could see it becoming useful with updates and refinement in the next few years, which is StoryGraph. And I do think that StoryGraph is going to get that development because there's obviously a lot of love and care and development going into the website already. One of the things that StoryGraph is good for is content warnings. If finding books you'll love means for you finding books that aren't going to trigger you, the place to look for content warnings is StoryGraph. These are provided by the readers of the books. They can be found on the bottom of any StoryGraph page. The content warning level seems to be oftentimes quite overblown, it'll give an extreme content warning for something that's mentioned in the book once. So oftentimes the level of content warning isn't super reliable, but the specific topics usually are pretty reliable. Okay, now I want to move into my favorite way for finding new books. I make booktube videos. I also watch a lot of booktube videos, and that is honestly how I get most of my book news. That and browsing websites like the ones I've shown you before. Because honestly, book reviews and word of mouth is such a good way for finding books that you'll love because you get a really thorough review and feel for the book. If you're watching my channel, I'm going to assume that we at least have somewhat similar tastes, so maybe read some of my favorites. You might consider watching my most recent favorite books of the year video, or other similar ones that I'll link in the footnotes for you. But let's help you find some new booktubers to watch as well, because maybe our tastes don't perfectly align, So I'm going to be recommending some booktubers. These booktubers fit the following criteria: have somewhat similar taste to me, but not identical, and have under 3,000 subscribers, because I'm trying to help you find booktubers that might be difficult to find just by browsing with the algorithm. So I'm going to list some booktubers that I highly recommend you check out, and I'm going to put up here the book covers of some of their recent popular favorites so you can get a feeling for their book taste and how it slightly diverges from mine. So maybe it aligns better with yours. We've got Reading with Rebecca Nicole, Char Reads All Day, Books with Benghis Khan, Books and Other Nerd Things, Beautiful Minutiae, and Tiffany Russell. So hopefully that will help you find some more booktube sources of book recommendations. Now, I'll also put in a plug for just asking people in your real life, your friends and family, anyone you know who reads books. They might have some fun recommendations for you too. Some more quick tips before we go. Definitely look into authors you've loved before. It's super easy to love an author and then never read another one of their books ever again. Or you might think that you've read all of their books, but you've really only read their super popular books that you've seen being talked about. And my final point will be about attitude. It can be a process that gets you burned out pretty quick of finding new books to read. It's difficult. You're gonna find some duds. There's a lot of work to go into it. You might have to read some first chapters, you're gonna have to read some blurbs, you're gonna have to read some reviews. It's so much work, but it's worth it. Put in the work, and you are going to find some awesome new favorites from it. Just start books and go on this fun adventure of figuring out if they're right for you along the way. Don't be afraid to give up on a book you're not enjoying to save time to start a new book that you might enjoy better. And I highly recommend watching next a video like this one where I am giving you book recommendations based on my favorites. Thanks for watching.